Hello, Keyblade wielders of all shapes and sizes. I am MC Nerd, and today I have my favorite custom Keyblade I have designed so far. So let's jump right into the Radiance Erupting Keyblade, Waypoint of Light. A Keyblade brimming with the power of light magic can be imbued with the power of all 7 magic types. To start out, I want to say that the original idea of this Keyblade is to be the starter Keyblade for whoever has it. Kind of like how Kingdom Key is for Sora. Essentially, this Keyblade would start out as a clone of Oathkeeper. Throughout the game, you would be collecting the magic stones, each based off of the different elements of magic. As you gain more and more of the magic stones, the Keyblade would emit more of these light beams in the color of the stone you find. And by the end of the game, the Keyblade would be more akin to Ultima Weapon. At the start of the game, the light form acts pretty much the same as the others do, only substituting the magics for light. By the end of the game, with all of the magic stones collected, we will unlock a second form called King of the Elements. And most of the changes we're going to be making to this Keyblade are only available while in King of the Elements form. When going into King of the Elements form, the Keyblade itself would not change much. These spiral bits coming around it would disappear, and the keychain splits apart, and the extra keychains become their own elemental Keyblades. While in idle animation, the Keyblades float behind Sora much like the Keyblades in Kingdom Hearts 2, although forming more of a wing pattern. And this is the base of most of King of the Elements' arsenal. The Shotlocks, non-full power being Keyblade Whip, in which Sora takes the Keyblade and whips it towards the enemy, and all of the elemental keys form a chain, dealing heavy damage to a single target. And the full power Keyblade Barrage is much akin to Lethal Frame, where Sora swings Waypoint of Light 6 times, and each of the elemental attacks deal a single attack to either one enemy or 6 enemies. The physical attacks with the Keyblades would be much akin to the Ultima Weapon's physical attacks, only replacing these basic light swords with the elemental Keyblades. We would also get Ultima movement as well. Hey, just wanted to let you know, I set up a Patreon. If you want to have your name in the description of every video, go support me on Patreon. Of course, there is no obligation to, so if you aren't able to, or you just don't feel like it, don't feel bad. But I appreciate the support if you can. So, yeah. Now finally for the magic. While in King of the Elements form, all of our magic becomes King variants, using every single form of magic in one attack. For King Shot, Sora points the Keyblade forward, all the elemental keys spiral around it, and release a big blast of all of their magic types. King Ball is very similar, only the blast is bigger and is one focused attack instead of many little ones. King Tonic is a tricky one. It gives an area around Sora that gives allies healing, defense boost, and restores MP. The same radius stops enemies, gives them paralysis, and deals damage. King Blast, once again, is to the same ability as King Shot, but the area of effect is a set cone instead of homing bolts. King Break has the Keyblades spin around Sora, releasing their energy as they spin. And finally, King Bolt has Sora raise Waypoint of Light into the air, much like when he's doing Thunder, and the elemental Keyblades appear above up to 6 enemies' heads and release their power straight down on them. And finally, the finisher. We are once again using Zeta as inspiration for this ultimate. However, this one is different than the others. Instead of being a single big beam of energy, we have the main beam being the light Zeta, and all the elemental keys make a ring around Sora and have their own mini Zetas. Where normally with the other elemental Keyblades, your Zeta is locked to where you first point it, this one is a little different. The light Zeta is locked in place. The elemental Zetas are not locked in place and can be slowly manipulated. If you were to point them all forward, it would create a massive Zeta that you cannot move, but it would deal massive amount of damage. But of course, with all this power, there has to be some form of downside. And that being, in order to enter King of the Elements form, you need to have all of the magic stones equipped to the Keyblade. Meaning, in order to use this overpowered form, you need to disable all your other elemental Keyblades. Now, that might not sound like too big a deal, but remember, all of the King magic is only available while in the King of the Elements form. Meaning, for most of your time playing with Waypoint of Light, you are stuck with just the light magic. Granted, it is more powerful with the stones, but it is still weaker than having a single one of them equipped alongside it. Where in Kingdom Hearts 3, you can have 3 Keyblades equipped at a time. If you were to want the Waypoint of Light full powered, it would be your only Keyblade. At least the way I have designed this for a full game experience. And with all that out of the way, that is going to be the end of this video. May your heart be your guiding key.